What's happening? Welcome to episode 2 of my new show, Reezy Does It. Thank you for tuning in. Where today's topic is the best rap group from the South ever. And the categories are the Migos, 3-6 Mafia, Outkast, UGK, 8Ball and MJG, the Hot Boys, and Goodie Mob. Now, we came up with this topic. I was talking to my homeboy Snake, Trevor Jackson, and I asked him, I said, man, you should put a poll on your page. Who is the best rap group from the South ever? And let the people vote and see what they say, you feel me? So he put it up, and it's doing numbers. It's doing really well. Right now, I would say Outkast is leading the poll. If you're not a member of the Trevor Jackson podcast group on Facebook, become a member now. So let's go ahead and get to it, man. So first on the list is the Migos. R.I.P. Takeoff, man. Takeoff died in a senseless tragedy in Houston, unfortunately. I first remember the Migos jumping on the scene with Hannah Montana. I want to say that was around 2013, 14, somewhere around there. But the Migos been putting it down, man. The Migos got a lot of hits. The Migos been putting it down for Atlanta, you know. I think they actually from Gwinnett County, but you know, it's close enough. But other hit singles from the Migos would include Bad and Bougie, Walk It Like I Talk It, Stir Fry, T-Shirt, Handsome and Wealthy, which is one of my favorites by the Migos, and many more, man. The Migos aren't together anymore. Of course, you know, Takeoff isn't here anymore, but there's an issue that happened between Quavo and Offset. But I'll let y'all do y'all own research on that. And Migos definitely deserve to be on the list. And number 2, we got 3-6 Mafia, man. Memphis 10. I don't even know where to begin with 3-6, man. They so influential in the industry still today. But they jumped on the scene nationally in 95 with the album Mystic Styles, which included Tear the Club Up. That was a big hit in the South, man. It had folks out here actually tearing the club up. You feel me? A lot of clubs wouldn't even allow you to play that junk. Wouldn't even allow the DJ to play that junk in the club. But other hits include Slide on My Knob, Like Corn on the Cob, Check and With Me, Then Do Your Job. Then we got Late Night Tip, Who Run It, Sipping on Some Scissor, which feature UGK. UGK helped them boys break out, man. You know, UGK really is the underground kings, but we're going to get to that later. But they did help 3-6 break out with this Sipping on Some Scissor. Poppin' My Collar and the Tennessee anthem, Stay Fly. The members of 3-6 Mafia, you got Juicy J, DJ Paul, Gangsta Boo, Crunchy Black, man. You know, 3-6 definitely deserve to be on the list. Next, we got Outkast, the ATLians. Outkast jumped on the scene nationally in 94 with Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, which was a hell of an album, man. Hell of an album. Players Ball was the first time I heard Outkast. I want to say that came out right around 93 or so. Other hits include Southern Playalistic, Get Up, Get Out, Crumbling Herb, Roses, Elevators, Miss Jackson, Hey Ya, So Fresh and So Clean. Outkast is definitely the most successful group on the list, without a doubt. Outkast's album, Speaker Box and The Love Below, went diamond. And if you don't know what that means, they sold 10 million copies. 10 million, man. So Outkast definitely deserve to be on the list. And I want to say Outkast won a Grammy, too. Next on the list is my favorite on the list, motherfucking UGK. And they jumped on the scene in the early 90s with their first album, Too Hard to Swallow, which included Pocket Full of Stones, Tell Me Something Good, and other hits too, man. Pimp C is one of the members of UGK. Pimp C and his partner Bun B will make up UGK. Pimp C is probably my second favorite rapper ever, besides Tupac. I'm not saying that he's the best lyricist or best any of that, but Pimp C had that voice and he had that swag, man. Simple as that. And they first album, like I said, was Too Hard to Swallow. Then you got Super Tight with front, back, side to side. And one of my favorite songs by UGK, It's a Poster Bubble. It's Don Perignon, it's a poster bubble. Just be like this sometime. What? Yeah, I mean, Super Tight. Then you got Riding Dirty, which is probably my favorite UGK album. You got Diamonds Against That Wood, High Life, Murder. Man, that song Riding Dirty, that was a hell of an album, man. Then you got Dirty Money with Let Me See It. They got a song with Paul and Juicy on there. I can't remember the name of the song, but they got Paul and Juicy from 3 6 Mafia on that thing. Then you got the Underground Kings album, which was the first album released after Pimp C was released from prison. And then you got, what's that song? They got Outkast on it. Players Anthem, that's the name of that junk. And it's a double disc. And it's full of hits, man, full of hits. A lot of features on that album. UGK really are the Underground Kings. And then you got the Big Pimpin' song by Jay-Z, which put UGK on a national level. You know, a lot of people other than the South didn't really know who UGK was until Jay-Z put him on that Big Pimpin'. Shout out Jay, man. And then you got UGK on the Sippin' on Some Scissor with 3 6 Mafia, which helped them break out more on a national level. So UGK is definitely the Underground Kings and probably my favorite group on the list, and they definitely deserve to be on here, man. So next we got Ballin' G, A-Ball and MJG from Memphis 10. A-Ball and MJG probably the first rap artist from Memphis to break out on a national level. And they first album, Coming Out Hard, released on Suave House. You got 9 Little Millimeter Boys, Armed Robbery, one of my favorites, Pimps, Mr. Big, and the song Coming Out Hard. Man, Ballin' G, that joint was hard. Then you got On the Outside Looking In with one of my favorite A-Ball and MJG songs, Lay It Down, Lay It Down. You hoes, lay it down. Yeah, Outside Looking In was a good album. It had to grow on me at first, but it did grow on me. Then you got On Top of the World, man, with a Southern classic, Space Age Pimpin'. If you ain't heard Space Age Pimpin', you need to Google that right now. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, whatever your service of choice is to listen to music. They had other songs, Candy, Starships and Rockets. Ballin' G put it down, man. They put it down. Then we got the Hot Boys. Hot Boys is one of my favorites on the list too. Their first album is called Get It How You Live, which consisted of Block Burner, Neighborhood Superstar, I'm Coming. The whole album was banging, man. You could just put that joint in and let it ride. And then the Hot Boys had that Guerrilla Warfare with We On Fire, Help, I Feel, Tuesday and Thursday, I Need a Hot Girl. Man, the Hot Boys put it down. The Hot Boys consisted of Juvenile, BG, Lil Wayne, and Lil Turk. So you got 3 platinum artists right there. BG's album, Chopper City in the Ghetto, I'm sure it went platinum. Juvenile, 400 Degrees, I know it went platinum. And not to mention whatever platinum albums Juvie had. And then you got Lil Wayne, man. I don't know where to begin counting his platinum albums. So the Hot Boys definitely deserve to be on the list. Then we got the Goodie Mob. Some of their hits include Cell Therapy, which is basically talking about things that they predicted the future in a sense with Cell Therapy. You just have to listen to that song, you feel me? Dirty South, Soul Food, They Don't Dance No More. And you got members like Big Gil, CeeLo Green, who turned into a megastar, Cujo Goodie. Shout out to the Goodie mob, man. And as an honorable mention, I want to mention the 2 Live Crew and Uncle Luke, man. Because they paid the price for a lot of these artists out here. You know what? We still got one more group to mention. I apologize. I didn't even mention them. But 2 Live Crew paid the price for a lot of these artists to say what they want to say on their music. They had to fight court battles for doing shows with explicit lyrics, for their albums, period, having explicit lyrics on them. So all you artists out here putting explicit lyrics on your music, you got Uncle Luke and 2 Live Crew to thank for that. But let me say this. I skipped over one of the most important groups on the list, which I did not mean to. Lil J, J Prince rap a lot, and the Ghetto Boys, man. So the Ghetto Boys' first album is called Grip It on That Other Level, which came out in the late 80s with Scarface, the actual song Scarface. The rapper Scarface was calling himself Action at the time. But that song was so successful that he ended up just calling himself Scarface, and I can't blame him. Songs like Read These Nikes, Size Ain't Shit, and Gotta Let a Hoe Be a Hoe. But my favorite Ghetto Boys, first off, before I even go to my favorite, that Ghetto Boys We Can't Be Stopped, that's what did it for them boys, man. That's what did it with that Mind Playing Tricks on Me. That's what broke the Ghetto Boys out on a national level. But my favorite album by the Ghetto Boys, I would say, is To Death Do Us Part. And Willie D was not even on that album. First off, the original members of the Ghetto Boys, when they first broke out nationally, was Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. But on the To Death Do Us Part album, Big Mike took the place of Willie D because Willie D was feeling himself a little bit at the time and he wanted to go solo. But then on that album, you got songs like Straight Gangsterism, This D Is For You, Crooked Officer. That was a hell of an album, man. I felt like I'm leaving out something. Murder After Midnight. That was a hell of an album by the Ghetto Boys, man. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. And one more thing. I don't know if I mentioned this, but A-Ball and MJG, that Friend or Foe, that's possibly my favorite rap song ever. Because I don't care how far in time we get, that's always going to be relevant. Friend or Foe, in a world that's all so cold. I mean, yeah, what they say, friend or foe, you just will never know. Who can I trust in a world that's all so cold? Man, when is that not relevant? That's relevant every day from here on, you feel me? So that's the podcast for today, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate it. This is T Reezy on Reezy Does It. And guess what? Boy, you should have known by now. Reezy does it.